Alright, this is a room test to kind of demo being able to go inside a door into different rooms. I was dealing with some weird glitch prior to this and couldn't duplicate it, so I guess I'll just move on and do this little dev update. There's no doors in here, but yeah, so last night I did the door thing where you can actually have doors in each room that maintain right there. So now I made it so you can actually go into a room, and then when you come out of there, there's that, and then you go back in, and it's still an armory. And if you go down here, it'll be a different room. If you exit, go back in, it's still that same room. And same with leaving the hallway and coming back in. It's the same with the doors. It maintains that same room. And then after that, I mean, once I get details to the rooms and the doors and all the detail like that, hyperdrive, and then yeah, that's once I get details of that where you can actually walk around them, then I'll start working on some more arrays to shuffle some objects in each room. And then I was coming across a glitch in the final room. You'll notice this has 4 hallways, and we're at the 4th one. And but there was a problem with doors in the final hallway, in which if you tried to enter them, it would take you to room 0, or at least the intro room. It was saying it couldn't load the intro room or some crap like that. So I simply programmed it to where there are no doors on the last hallway right before you enter the cockpit. And it kind of it kind of makes it feel like Mega Man almost, where the cockpit used to be the boss room, which that was before I decided to make it to where you can explore the whole thing. But I mean, really, it's the end of the ship. You start from one end and go to the other end. It only makes sense to have it like that. But I was hitting a weird glitch before this, where if I would enter a previous room from the last room, like I just went from 4-4 to 3-4. It crashed for some reason. I don't know why. And but then we go back into these rooms, and it's still a hyperdrive room, and still whatever this room was, the cargo hold. And again, I was originally gonna plan on making like a few rooms, like a guarantee, like barracks and stuff, but then I don't know, I took that away and started exploring the ships and just kind of seeing what rooms would generate. And it made some interesting stuff. I mean, in this one we have, with the holodeck, a cargo hold, an armory, and what was this one? And a bathroom. It's like, what? I've been making my own narratives as to what these ships were used for, to require... I assume the holodeck was used for like training purposes, so the armory they could have stuff, but then they have a cargo hold to have extra stuff, I guess, and then just a bathroom, because you got to stay clean. But I mean, there's like no bedrooms or anything, so there's probably weren't a whole lot of people on here. I would say in my own narration, this was probably like 2 or 3 people who were probably traders or something. This is probably like a raider ship, I want to say. They probably used the holodeck for just having fun, playing video games. They probably had the armory so that they could go raid places, the extra cargo room to actually hold all the stuff they stole, and then, a bathroom, because you gotta stay clean even though you're a scumbag. Oh yeah, and then we have this where I have it so you can adjust the size of the ship. It's not really, I mean, this is just kind of a precursor to being able to be in the hyena ship and scanning and saying, oh, we have a large vessel down this way, or a medium vessel, or a fucking mining establishment on the planet, which that comes later. As of right now, I'm just focusing on the ship generation. And janitor closet. I when I was making the list, I was trying to figure out some stuff to add, and then it just kind of dawned on me to add a janitor's closet in lieu of Space Quest and Roger Wilco. So that's kind of a homage to him. I don't know why you would need janitor work on a spacecraft. It probably makes more sense to just have little robots do it. Which maybe that's something I'll add to that, little cleaning robots in there. It just some dude works there to activate them or something like that. Or hell, I could just have mobs. There is mess halls and stuff. Speaking of, there's the mess hall. So a janitor closet, a mess hall, and I forgot, I wasn't paying attention to the other room. But this is just teleporters so they can get down to planets. This is just kind of, I've just been doing this for the past hour, going back and forth into generated ships and seeing what rooms they come up with, and kind of making my own story. Because I have this idea of, depending on, if there's like a vast majority of certain rooms in a ship, I want to be able to change the icon of the ship when it's scanned. If there's like 3 infirmaries in a ship, then it's probably going to classify it as like a medical ship. Because, I mean, why would you need 3 infirmaries unless you were in fact a medical ship? And just little stuff like that. I mean, if there was a bunch of just extra life support, but if there was like, you know, a bunch of there was a couple of brigs and like an armory, it would classify as a small prison ship or large prison ship, whatever. It doesn't really matter about the size, but that was just kind of a side idea that I wanted to have to see if and just kind of maybe generate something out of that, and seeing if some cool ships would show up. This is a big list. So far I have 16 rooms, and I was going to add one more. I forgot what the 17th one was going to be, but with that and the airlock, hallway, and see, there's like 2 life supports on here, but with the airlock, hallway, and cockpit, if I had 17, that'd be a good even 20 rooms for just this one thing that could generate countless amounts of ships. Wasn't there already a teleporter as well? See, this is a just an oddball ship. And then if we go into the 9 of 9, no doors. So I don't have to worry about that. The whole door problem at the max thing, which I still don't know why it's doing that, but maybe someday I'll figure out. It really doesn't matter. In the long run, something's gonna generate doors, depending on the size or whatever. And even if it doesn't, sometimes I've noticed the smaller ships don't produce doors, and I've justified even that by just saying, oh, it's just like a short range vessel that doesn't need extra space for like travel and stuff. It doesn't need a life support system or a mess hall or barracks or anything for them to sleep in, because it's a short range. It's like some sort of TIE fighter or something like that. It's a personal cruiser that was probably docked with a space station of some kind that only travels around the space station. So there's no need for rooms. And even this one has a few hallways that are barren. But even so, it just generates rooms. I would like to imagine. I mean, technically, it can get away with generating every conceivable type of ship, with the exception of the max hallway being barren. The other rooms, there's a very likely chance that you'll eventually hit one that has like 6 rooms, and all of them are bathrooms or something. Just something weird. And I'm wondering if I should worry about that, or if it's just, again, because this is going to be kind of a tongue-in-cheek game. It's going to have a little bit of comedy. There's going to be fighting and stuff, and some like dark aspects, and a whole save the world epicness, or I guess save the galaxy epicness. But at the same time, it'd be funny to, I mean, he's already, you can see my guy's dressed as Han Solo and's got hair like Philip J. Fry. That kind of sums up the tone that I wanted for this game, which was a little bit of like space opera, but also a little bit of comedy with tongue-in-cheek attitude. So it'd be very hilarious to just have a bathroom ship, just a ship entirely filled with bathrooms and nothing else, as though this particular ship was meant for people who just really need to go to the bathroom. I would imagine that it's probably, if it was entirely bathrooms, it'd be a commercial ship that docks with other ships that don't have bathrooms and just lets them use the bathroom for a small fee, which is like the dumbest idea I can think of on the spot, but makes me laugh. But anyway, the rooms work. I'm going to start detailing rooms eventually. About to hit a weekend at my day job, so it's gonna be fucking wild. But other than that, can't really think of anything else to update with. That's all I've been working on today, was just kind of getting these rooms in and making sure they work, fixing the bugs when I can, and getting it done. And then just going back and forth the ships that generate and checking out all the rooms. And once I start getting once I detail the rooms and make it able to walk around in them, it's gonna be, because he can't do anything in these rooms. So once that becomes a possibility, I'm probably going to spend more countless hours exploring these rooms and just making up my own story. See, this is already looking like a military ship. It's got an armory and a barracks for soldiers. Let's see what else it offers. A very long hallway away from them. Of course, it could just be an armory and barracks. It could be, shit ton of labs coming up. It could be a security office for a lab vessel. Who knows? I would really like to, in the future, do that. Judging from how many rooms are in the ship, so a cargo bay. Judging from the rooms that are inside the ship, it will actually classify it as a certain type of ship, like a military vessel or a research or a medical or just a personal craft, that would add, would add quite a bit of flavor and depth to the whole universe thing. Give it a little bit storyline. Yeah, this is looking like just a military ship with a very long haul. Just a place for them to sleep and have guns. Oh yeah, that's all there was. There's a cargo hold, a barracks, and an armory. So this could very well be a military ship or just a ship full of scoundrels again. There were bandits back in the war days. Which that's going to be the storyline, I guess, is back in the day there was a big war between the Federals and an advanced alien race that was trying to kill them. And then, out of nowhere, the alien race just stopped working, and nobody knows why. And so eventually you find out why. You find out why they just suddenly disappeared and stopped fighting the war. So yeah, that's all for this one, though.